Hey everyone, thanks for joining our Hoops with a Purpose podcast. And this week we have Abby Beyer. Abby, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I love what you guys are doing with Hoops with a Purpose. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to talk about Coach and just catch up. So,
Yeah, we're excited to have you here.
So for those of you who don't know, Abby played hoops at Springport High School, and then she went on to play at Elizabethtown, where she had a spectacular career. She loved shooting the three ball, and I want to say you played golf there too.
yeah, that was kind of a random pickup my junior year. But yeah, I started. I I like to say I participated on the golf team because I can't really say I competed. It was kind of horrible. So I never played before. So, um, but no, it was a good time. Yeah, so I was able to do that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. We admittedly are not the greatest golfers either. I mean, mini golf, yes,
Oh
100%,
yeah,
but
yeah.
regular
Can't go
golf,
wrong with that.
yeah.
We have the mini golf masters when we go to Ocean City in the summer. We
Oh
usually play
yeah.
like best of 7. We play every night, and I'm usually the champion. But
Oh yeah. What do you play?
That's
Pirate golf up on the boardwalk?
um where
They're all
did we
we
different ones.
played a bunch of different. We usually always just do Congo
Congo?
Falls.
Oh, that's a good one too.
But
Yeah.
we played a bunch of different ones, and there's like, is it Goofy Golf?
Oh
There's one
yeah.
for like $5 right by like
Yeah.
the basketball like
Yeah.
shooting game.
Oh
And
yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
man, it's a good mini golf course. It was challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. And then right after you can go and shoot some hoops. I've done that quite a few times too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to embarrass Kelly there, so I try and stay away from those games.
Everyone knows that I would win that, and I want our mini golf stuff, so yeah.
Oh, there you go. We know who the real champ is.
Yep. All right, cool. So let's jump right into it. So Abby, you and I have known each other for a while. We would see each other at Coach Char's gym all the time, and also run into you at the beach, Ocean City, New
Mhm.
Jersey, and it was always a fun time. Can you describe to the listeners what Coach Char meant to you and what kind of relationship you guys had?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, we've known each other for a long time. It really all started back at the definitely sports camps. I honestly can't even tell you how many I did. I just know I had tons of t-shirts, basketballs. My brother and I were actually just talking about it the other day. Um, and then, yeah, started going to coach around seventh or eighth grade through college. So about 10 years there. Um, so again, I mean, we got to know each other really well. Worked out with coach a ton, and it's honestly hard to even put our relationship into words. And just because, I mean, he was such a special person. He was really the ultimate mentor, just so supportive. Um, Always there for me, always pushing me to be better. He was just so much bigger than the game of basketball, and I just really valued and appreciated our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems to be the common theme. We're hearing that.
Hmm.
We're hearing that every single time.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the majority of players, it's starting in seventh grade and going up from there. Like no one ever left once they came, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, and
I,
it's funny because even there are girls that I started working out with, around that time, like 7th, 8th grade, and then I think we would just kinda miss each other on a lot of days, but then even, like, a few years later, we'd bump back into each other, in the gym, so that was really cool.
yeah, when I near the end of high school and wasn't playing in college, I figured I better start dating his daughter so I can stay in the family and stay in touch and
There you
just
go.
figure out how to keep that relationship. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
here now, and
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, how would you say you've grown as a person and as a player, over your time with Coach?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say the biggest thing was definitely my confidence. I think starting out, like middle school, I was kind of not really sure of myself all the time, still a little awkward on the court. But going to coach, he was again just always so supportive. Um, and even the times when he would text and say, "Oh, I'm going to put you in with these two older girls tonight. Just go out and have fun with it." And that's what I did. And I think as I started to see that I could compete with these older girls and kind of hold my own. That definitely started to build my confidence. And, you know, not all the times I went were perfect, but just kind of building on that and growing that way. And I think that really just translated into everyday life,
Mhm.
because I found myself really just trying to push and kind of try to step out of my comfort zone when I could, whether it was school or at work. Um, and I think I really took that lead from Coach Shar. And again, even just something as small as that, where he wanted me to go in and step out of my comfort zone and work with girls at a different level. I think I was able just to apply that to everyday life and just continue to grow and be more confident.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. So as you kind of transition from high school basketball into college, I know coach helped a lot of players with kind of the recruiting process, the decision making process. Did you and coach talk about that? Did he help you through that decision and that process?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even to step back from that, it is pretty funny because when I was in middle school and I was trying to decide kind of what I wanted to do, I know I liked playing basketball, but again, wasn't the best. Just kind of doing it for fun at that point. And I then made the decision to go to Coach Char's Hoops Academy. And I remember talking to a friend, and at the time they were already going to him, and they're like, "Oh, Coach Char's the best. He's great." Um, and they were saying, you know, oh, he can have like your high school coach come in and watch you and kind of see where you're at and where you're growing and developing. And I remember looking at them and saying, high school, like I really didn't have any plans of playing in high school, let alone college. So I think for me and going to Coach Shar, he really just, you know, helped me to see those opportunities that were out there and really just help open a lot of doors, and really start to strive for those bigger goals. So um, even with that, go more into the recruiting process. I remember there was the one day that he took me and my mom out to lunch out to Olive Garden, which was pretty cool. One of his favorite places.
Oh yeah.
So he sat us down and we went through the whole recruiting process and different levels of play, different places to play. Obviously, still wanted school to be the main focus, wherever I decided. But again, it was just kind of one of those like surreal moments. It's like from where I came to making it that far and knowing like I could have never made it to that point without him. Um, so
Mhm.
that was a really cool experience. You know, even after that, he just continued to help me and guide me on, you know, what coaches to talk to, when to talk to them, you know, how to even approach those conversations. So he was definitely a huge part of that whole process.
Yeah. He definitely loved challenging his players, and it sounds like he challenged you too.
Hmm.
And he absolutely loved the recruiting process and connecting people and all of that. So
Yeah,
We were
yeah. I
trying.
mean,
Oh, go
oh no,
ahead.
go ahead, Steve.
You can go.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, the amount of people he knew and just all the connections he had, and they were so genuine and sincere. You know, it wasn't like he was trying to connect with people just to have that connection. Um,
mhm.
he really cared about the people that he worked with and he talked to, and you could just see that in working with him. And I think that was just something that was so special about him too.
Mhm.
Yeah, we constantly would try and tell him, "Hey, get out of the gym. Don't work in the gym every night. You should start a recruiting like consulting business
Yeah,
where you just
yeah.
consult on like the college recruitment process because he
Hmm.
was so well connected in the area and just so
Hmm.
knowledgeable on the overall process." But that was it was a hard conversation to tell him to stop going to the gym every night. Obviously, that
Yeah.
didn't happen. So
You can see how
Right.
that worked
yeah,
out. Yeah.
I
exactly.
was gonna say, yeah, I could definitely see it being tough pulling him out of there. So,
Trying to
No,
figure out how to keep him off his feet a little bit, but it
yeah.
didn't work.
Like
right.
one funny story is on holidays, it didn't matter which holiday it was. We it would be all of our family, and he'd just be like,
Oh wait, if it wasn't Christmas or Thanksgiving, we'd be at Olive Garden on the
"Yeah,
holiday.
true, true." But on the days those were
At Olive
closed,
Garden, yeah.
he'd be like, "Oh, got a bunch of players wanting to get in,"
Yep.
and
Yep.
be like, "It's Christmas," and he'd be like, "Nope, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
everybody wants to get in."
Like
Yeah.
Just be like,
Christmas morning, he'd come down and be
"Yeah,
like, "Man, I got 28 texts, people trying to get in today.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, yeah. Oh, he
And
was the best.
yeah, and like with snowstorms, nope, gotta get to the gym.
Yep, yep.
Everybody needs to get in. I'm like,
He would
if
get,
you get in an accident, no one's gonna be able to get in. Like,
he would go to the gym. Like he'd go to the gym and then be like, everyone's canceling. They're saying the roads are too bad. Like,
snow plows here, and
yeah.
we'd be like, well,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
no.
gonna say, now that you mention it, I don't remember many sessions being canceled, even around that bad weather. So, no, that's great.
He would like get to the gym early and just, I swear he'd bring like his own. I don't think this actually happened, but he'd bring his own cones and caution tape and like block the plow and salt guy from coming in because he didn't want salt in the gym. And like the parking lot would get icy, but it was okay because there wasn't salt in the gym.
You know what? Yeah, I do remember when he would set stuff up, like he'd have his posters and stuff in the doorway when there was salt on the ground, just to, yeah, like wouldn't let parents in.
Yeah.
Um, I think that was the only time, and not that he even like raised his voice or anything, but like one time he had to like kind of sternly ask a parent to leave, or to like get out of the gym because they had salt all over their shoes.
Oh man.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
funny. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I can picture that.
yeah,
He would hate when they salted like the sidewalks and the parking lot. And then he'd be like,
yeah.
now this is gonna get tracked into the gym. Be good. Floor's
Yeah,
gonna be slippery. Like,
yeah,
oh man. Too
yeah.
funny.
And it
Oh,
got
that
worse
is.
every year. Like more salt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if it snowed more, there'd just be more salt. Like,
Right, right.
it's not even snowing out and they're laying salt down.
And he'd be telling all the players like, hit the slip knot, get on the slip knot a couple
Yep, yep.
times.
And then he'd be doing double time with the towel across the floor.
Before he would leave on like those snow days, he'd be like, I gotta bring a new slip knot, and be like, can you guys open this one for me? I'm gonna need this tonight. It's gonna be a heavy slip knot night. Like,
Yeah. Every
Oh
day
my
he'd be doing
gosh.
a load of towels. Like,
Yep,
just
yeah. Oh my
insane.
gosh.
just
Yeah.
strolling around the house, just complaining about the salt. Like,
Oh my goodness, just
That's too
classic.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is.
but it was all for the athletes. Like he wanted
Oh
you guys
yeah.
to have the best experience and not slip and not get injured. And
Hmm.
I think that was his biggest fear, is that someone was going to slip
Get
and
injured.
get injured.
Yeah.
And obviously that would be the worst thing, to have a player get injured and affect their playing time.
Especially
Hmm.
mid season or yeah.
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 Yeah, definitely.
So tough
Definitely.
question, but what's the best thing you learned from coach?
I would have to say, and I know I already touched on the confidence piece, but honestly, I think it's as simple but as meaningful as just being positive and being kind to people. Um, you know, there was never one time, except maybe that time the parent had the salty shoes, that 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 I walked into the gym. I mean, he always had a smile on his face. He was always excited for us to be there. Like we were just touching on, um, always checking in to see how we were doing. I know every time I went in, he would say, "How are you? How's school? How's your family?" Um, and again, he was just so sincere, so positive, and really kind. And I think it can be easy, especially easy to get down, especially at the ages I was saying that I was there,
Mm-hmm.
in middle school, high school, college. You have so much going on. There's like a lot of pressures you put on yourself, and then external pressures, from all the different things going on. So it can be easy to get down. But again, I think one of the biggest things from coach was just being positive, being kind to one another, and really just enjoying what you're doing. I think that's huge too. And like we were just saying, I mean, he definitely loved what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talk about positivity and perspective a lot, and that's a common theme that we're hearing.
Hmm.
Just his positive attitude, and I think you mentioned confidence. That's something we're hearing a lot of, and the positive attitude, the perspective, the upbeat kind of mentality, I feel like made it much easier for everyone who interacted with him to be confident and to grow in their skill set. And it's, at least from my experience, it's significantly different than how most coaches approach
Mm-hmm.
coaching,
Hmm.
if you will. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like it's so different. But look at how successful you were. A lot of the other student athletes that went to him were. and how effective that approach was.
Hmm. No, I agree. I think the biggest thing that I enjoyed going to the gym was just it was you know, a lot of people say like sports are outlets for things, but again, you would go to high school and college and you would still have like those stressors from your coaches. But I mean, going to Coach R's gym, it truly was an outlet. I mean, you could just go there, be yourself, enjoy it, have fun. And I think that that's just so important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's awesome. One thing we're kind of asking every guest is, if you could give middle and high school students today advice, or go back and give yourself advice from kind of what you learned
Hmm.
working out with coach, um, people who are looking to be as successful as you were in basketball, what would you say to them?
Hmm. Yeah, I would say one thing I've definitely taken away. Well, there's really two things. So the first thing I would say, really focusing on the little things, and whether that's the small technical things of basketball, you know, hustling on every play, making sure you touch the line if you're running a sprint, those kind of more technical discipline type things. But then also just things like attitude, being on time, supporting your teammates, respecting your coaches. I think those are things that easily translate to life after sports and after basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because for not all of us, I would say most, you go on and basketball is done and it's done, and you then go to pursue other things in life. And I think those little things that you do learn from basketball and other sports, like attitude, discipline, being supportive and respectful, those are all things that you can just carry on with you throughout the rest of your life. So I think that that's something really important to focus on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then again, another probably common theme here, but just have fun with it. I know that's a really cliche one, and I've heard it 1,000 times. Just have fun, have fun. It goes quick, and I don't think I ever really believed it until it was over. So I would definitely say just enjoy it. It really does go quick, whether it feels like it or not. I know there are the long days of practice and long bus rides to and from the games, missing things with your friends and all that. But again, I think basketball and just sports in general have so much to teach you, and but at the same time, you just want to be able to have fun with it.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's a lot of times where the best memories are created is
Hmm.
on those long bus rides and yeah, long journeys to away games. I feel
Hmm.
like yeah, that's the stuff you look back on and are thankful for. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I know even like some of my best friends are the ones that I played basketball with in college, and now to see us all like, um, you know, moving on into our lives, going to people's weddings, people are having babies, and again, just to think it came from something as what seems so simple as the game of basketball, but like how you just grow and meet people and just really learn a lot. I think that's really important.
mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, speaking of life after college, what are you up to these days?
So I am currently I'm a project engineer for a construction management company.
Hmm.
Um, so essentially, I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, manage the construction of different projects. Um, but it's really we focus on like healthcare, pharmaceuticals, higher education. So they're pretty big projects that we work on. One that people from around here might be familiar with, like Chopping King of Prussia. That was a
Mhm.
project that we built. I was on that project for a bit.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and it's actually funny, and this just goes to show again another facet of Coach Shar and how great he was. One of my bosses, she actually her kids went to Coach Shar. They
Mm.
worked out in the gym, and so I mean, he never admitted it, but I think he probably had a little more to do with me helping get me on this path than he would have probably ever admitted. So um, even beyond my basketball career, just helping me get to where I'm at. now. It's huge, and I really am appreciative of everything he did.
Yeah. That's a funny story though. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Uh, I know that he loved you and your family. So,
Mhm.
and we appreciate you taking some time with us tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
this was great. I was just thinking, put you on the spot here a little bit. I feel like he has a lot of like one-liners and things that he would say all the time. Uh, was curious to get your thoughts if you had any specific things, even if it's as simple as like, all right, make 5 in a row before you leave. Uh,
Oh, that's so tough. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you one, but it's kind of more like just it was more like directed to me, and I just think it's funny. It's one of the things I thought was funny. So like he would have little nicknames for some of us and stuff, and my nickname was Street Ball or Street Baller, which any of the girls that I played with who are listening could attest to that. I'm not a street baller by any any stretch of the word. Um, but it was just funny, we always had fun with it. And it's because I'd pull out these little moves that were kind of ridiculous, but it was
Sounds
my
like,
attempt.
yeah, it
Huh,
sounds like an and one mixtape kind of.
yeah, pretty much. But I still even could hear him now say I would do like whatever move it was, and he'd be like street ball, and
I can hear him
uh,
saying something like that too. That's hilarious.
yeah, yeah. So no, that was really funny, and that was one that kind of just always stuck out, and I still think about now and laugh to myself.
That's so funny. All right. Well, thanks again, Abby, for your time today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Again, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and especially for even sharing coach with us. Like you said, I know you spent a ton of time at the gym and a ton of time with us. And yeah, I mean, again, I think whoever you talk to, and he's just touched so many people. So
Mhm.
thank you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We're grateful for you to have joined today and shared kind of your memories and experience. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely.